If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is March the 23rd, 2022, and today the topic is purpose. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. I didn't do everything that I think that I was going to, or that I thought that I was going to do yesterday. Long story short, I told y'all I had 2 interviews. Turns out one of the interviews was on someone else's platform and not GSL. So, we were asked, I was asked to reschedule, and that's cool. So I ended up doing one interview yesterday, which was really nice. My guest is in Panama, and was in Panama yesterday, and I ain't gonna lie, man. Look, just a heads up, if y'all want to see me get emotional, then tune into that future episode of GSL. Just listening to this lady's testimony, and I don't know, just really, really feeling like I was in the right place at the right time, and then also, hearing what God had done in her life, and seeing where she was now compared to the things that she was talking about. It just was a combination of things that just made me well up, to be honest. So, to God be the glory for that conversation. Looking forward for you all to see it in the future. But yeah, just a heads up, man. I had shed a few tears on that episode, y'all. But I mean, I guess that kind of leads me to the topic today. This conversation about purpose. I mean, I know this is not the first time that we've talked about purpose here on the Juice. I mean, who knows how many times we talked about it now. But for whatever reason, I mean, again, these things, this topic and everything feels fresh to me. It feels new. A new perspective on it as well. Um, and again, I guess thinking about the interview yesterday and everything like that, even, I don't know, it makes this topic even more significant. I listened to the prayer meditation this morning, and it was something else that came into my mind, but I was a little bit distracted after I got done with the prayer meditation, so I don't remember what I was thinking that I was going to look up. But by the time I settled my mind again, the word purpose just came into my mind, and I looked up the verses, and I'm going to share the ones that stood out to me, but there were a lot. There were a lot in there that I just was like, and again, it gave me a different perspective as well. So here we are. Here we are to talk about purpose. Probably again, I don't know. So let me start off with this one, y'all, because this might be pulp. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. But Proverbs 16:4, it says, "The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble." Now, I don't know if that's Pope for y'all or what, to know that God made everything, even the wicked, right? Even, I guess, evil things. Everything God created for its purpose. So, again, yeah, I don't know how that sounds to you. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I mean, I guess to me this morning it stood out because I just was like, I mean, again, I have read this verse before, but I don't know, something about it today made me just kind of, I don't know, pause, made me want to write it down and everything like that. So I did. So I did, and that's that. It's not that I have anything to really say about it per se. It's just that I guess it's putting things into perspective, right? I mean, obviously we can go deeper about this, and I did actually. I felt led to go ahead and go deeper about this, and so to get a better understanding of that one verse, I implore you to check out the entire Proverbs 16, because that's what I did. And there were several verses in there that gave more context, I guess you would say, about that particular verse and whatnot. But check it out, read it for yourself and go deeper about this idea if it's something that you're struggling with, or even if it's not something you're struggling with, even if it's just something where that you know, you want to marinate on a little bit more. Check out the entire Proverbs 16. So, moving on, let's go to Colossians 1 and 16. It says, "For by him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and for him." Whew. I mean, if anybody's struggling with your purpose today, right? If anybody was struggling with why am I here or whatever the case is, well, I guess the basic answer for you is that you were created by God for God. Um, Now, again, whether you walk in that purpose or not is up to you. But again, if you're struggling with that, um, struggling with knowing why you're here, struggling with this idea of purpose, finding some significance in your life or significance in your life or any of that, then I guess this is the basic answer here. But it's really not that simple or basic at all, because when you think about like everything that verse is saying, um, it's giving us, I guess, a glimpse of life. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess what's standing out to me this morning is the part about, uh, well, heaven and all things were created in heaven and on earth. So it's acknowledging that there's heaven and earth, um, and there's creations in both. Then it's also acknowledging visible and invisible. So that means there's things that we see, and then there's things that we don't see. And then thrones or dominions, or rulers or authorities. Um, Now, I mean, I guess when we think of thrones, we probably just think about royalty in the chair people are sitting in. But um, obviously, there's something more there when it comes to this idea of thrones and dominions and whatnot. Like when you look up the definitions of those words, um, I didn't do that this morning, so I don't know. I don't know how to go deeper about it, but I just know spiritually, I've seen in the past that these more so represent like territory versus like a chair. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about as well. But regardless, right? Regardless of what all it represents and whatnot, it wraps it up by saying that all things were created through him and for him, and that is the basic, simple principle that I guess we all should grasp, right, and take hold of and whatnot, because many of us don't know our purpose, right? Many of us are struggling with, again, the question of why am I here? Um, why was I born? Like, a lot of people are struggling with that. And um, I'm trying to think, have I ever personally struggled with the why am I here question per se? I mean, I can't say that I've never done it. I mean, again, I'm 35 right now. I'm pretty sure at some point in my 35 years of life, I probably asked that question. Um, you know, or maybe it crossed my mind or something like that. So, I mean, again, not pointing fingers at anyone that's struggling with that. But if you're listening to the sound of my voice today, I guess I'm here to remind you that at the end of the day, you're here for God, and you were created by Him, and you're here for Him, for His purpose and whatnot. So from there, I think we should, seek God and see like what it is He wants us to do. That's just me and my little humble opinion, but that's that. Based on Bible, though. Based on Bible. Proverbs 19:21 says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." I'm telling y'all, this came to me back in the cultivation period, y'all. Back in that time of my life when I was, well, I mean, no, I can't lie now. I feel like I'm pretty close to God now. You know what I'm saying? But I told you all before that, At some point I would look back at the time of my life and be like, man, I was so much closer to God then. I need to get back to that. And so I feel like this is my way of getting back to that now in this time of my life. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm truly, truly am. But anyway, if I go back to what I was thinking here, many other plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. I believe I got that revelation during the cultivation period that, at the end of the day, nothing matters. Nothing else matters but what you do for God. And like, I guess when you really truly think about that, that gives you, I guess, that different perspective. That gives you that peace, that joy, all the rest of the things that you get by, allowing God to lead and guide you in your life. Those things come from understanding that, things that we fret about, that we worry about, that, all the things that we make so important, right? All the mountains of molehills that we make and all those different things. At the end of the day, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but for me, it was very freeing, I guess, to understand that, okay, I think I need to focus more so on whatever God wants me to do versus whatever it is that I feel like I personally want to do. Like, again, I can say that I was that person. I was that person always seeking for the next thing and the next thing. I was that person trying to reach goals and all this different stuff and feeling empty even if I achieved them. Feeling like something was missing, all of that. And that's why I'm saying it's so amazing right now to be in this place of simplicity, this place of like, regardless of. Now, God has allowed me to achieve goals, right? He's allowed me to achieve goals. He's allowed me to, do some things that I wanted to do. But it's not a situation where I'm stressed. It's not a situation where I'm doing the comparison game. Just all the different things that I felt in the past. I'm not in that situation now. I know I've told y'all numerous times I'm content, and I know I've been convicted to also say that I understand that don't mean stop working, that don't mean stop doing the will of God and achieving whatever other goals He wants for me to do and achieve. But I mean, I hope that today, I mean, if nothing else, I hope that understanding that at the end of the day, like this verse says, the purpose of the Lord that will stand. Like, you can have all the plans in the world, right? There's this saying that, basically, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Because at the end of the day, He's planned it all out. Even our downfalls, even our stumbles and all that stuff is planned out beautifully. And I've seen that. I've seen that in my life. Again, I've told y'all straight up debacles, straight up things that I felt like was like the worst times in my life led to the most beautiful things in my life. And that could not have been, I didn't plan that. You know what I'm saying? And I have to acknowledge God in that. And so, that's it. That's it. I guess I think I reflected on that enough. Let me keep going here. Exodus 6:19. It says, "But for this purpose I have revised you up to show my power, so that my name may be proclaimed in all the earth." So again, if you were struggling about your purpose, you don't know why you're here, you don't know, why was I born, all these different things. Well, friend, according to this, we were created to show His power and help proclaim His name, basically. That's me paraphrasing that verse I just read, but you guys can read it for yourself. Exodus 9 and 16 and everything like that. I'm going to keep going because this is good right here. So Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it says, "The end of the matter all has been, make sure I say it. It looks like I wrote heard. So I'm going to say it again. The end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Again, the end of the matter, all has heard. All has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. I mean, y'all, that is the juice this morning. That is the juice. I don't know if it's a whole glass of a pulp. You know what I'm saying? It might be some things you don't want to hear. But, you know, again, if you're struggling with purpose, if you're struggling, why am I here? Why was I born? What am I supposed to do? I think if we get this in our hearts and minds to understand that, okay, I was created by God, for God, right? I was created to, what does this other verse here say? Proclaim his name in all the earth. I was created to fear God and keep his commandments. Then it should give you a perspective of what's next, you know. So what's next, in my little humble opinion, again, will be to seek God and say, okay, Lord, you made me, right, for your purpose. You want me to proclaim your name across the world? Well, how do you want me to do that? And go from there. You know, and that's it. That's the juice. That is the juice. In regards to the Go Deeper section, aside from reading Proverbs 16 in its entirety, the other thing I suggest, man, is to just check out openbible.info. Go to openbible.info and put in the word purpose, because that's what I did this morning as well. So put in the word purpose, and the verses that stand out to you, just read those verses that stand out to you, and let those verses marinate on your heart, souls, and minds, because there's plenty of good stuff in there. But these are the ones that stood out to me, and for me, again, it gave me a different perspective on this idea of purpose. Again, out of all the conversations, I'm pretty sure I've talked to y'all about purpose numerous times. We talked about walking in your purpose, you know, all this stuff. But I think breaking it down all the way to these basics to understand that, hey, you know, at the end of the day, my whole purpose, according to this here, is to fear God and keep his commandment. That's the juice, y'all. That is the juice. The Bible verse of today is 1 Peter 3:12. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, it's your girl Miracle Sims, and you already know that your girl is now an author, and my very first publication is none other than a creation inspired by the juice. That's right, friends, you can go on Amazon.com and find the Juice 30-Day Bible Study Journal. And this, friends, I hope and pray will help you create your own Bible study experience similar to the one that your girl here shares with you every day here on God, Sex, and Love.